Okay, so we are doing geography. This is Thursday, and I found a nice map for us. You can see it all. And it is the continents. So we are going to review the continents, and I want you to say them as I point to them. Let's see. I'm looking at the back of this sheet trying to figure it out. So we've got North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, Antarctica. Let's do that one more time. Let's see. Can you see them all? North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, Antarctica. So those are the 7 continents we've been learning this year. We have been to Asia. We have been to Europe. We have been to, I think we've been to South America. And right now we are in Australia. So Australia is right there. And it is the equator is an imaginary line because there's not an actual line on the globe, but it is very hot right in the middle of the earth. That is the hottest place. So Australia is under that. So their seasons are opposite to ours. When we're having summer, what are they having? Winter. And when we're having winter, they are having summer. All right. So what are some things we've learned about Australia? How many states are in Australia? There are 6 states. Let's see if we can go over them. There's the, what is that called? The Sydney Opera House, a very beautiful opera house, and the largest city in Australia is Sydney, and many people go there to see the Sydney Opera House just because it's beauty. All right, let's look at the 6 states. So we have the Western Australia, Northern Territory, South Australia, Queensland, New South Wales, Melbourne, and the Territory Tasmania. We learned yesterday what was over here. The Great Barrier Reef. What is the Great Barrier Reef? Coral. It's live coral, and there are many fish that live there, and it is very protected because it is very important. And we also learned that they have beautiful, the Gold Coast area, which has beautiful beaches, and we learned that, what is that green dot? Sydney. Sydney is their largest city. And what is their capital? What is the capital of Australia? Canberra. So we've learned a lot of things about Australia. Who were the first people in Australia? You remember? They were the Aborigines, and the Aborigines made boomerangs, and they made that long stick. What is that long stick called? Didgeridoo. A didgeridoo. And so there's a lot of different things in Australia. We learned that it has a huge outback, which looks to me like the inback because it is all of the central area of Australia where it gets exceedingly hot in the day. It gets really frigid at night. So that is just so strange to me that you would be wearing shorts and a tank top in the middle of the day, smearing on sunscreen, and at night you would need tons of covers, just like covers and sweaters and socks on your feet in the bed. So really strange. And the coastal areas are where most of the people live. Most of the people live close to the water, especially around Sydney. That is a really big city. And I think it'd be a great place to vacation. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my screen. I'm going to shrink it. So it's going to look a little bit weird just for a minute. And I'm going to click this button. And then I'm going to go to our PowerPoint. There we go. So right now we're going to look at all the animals in Australia. To be such a huge desert area, you would think there's not many animals, but on this list, there are a lot of animals. It says, now that we have visited some of the most popular places in Australia, let's learn about some of the animals you may find there. The first one is the kangaroo. Look at that baby kangaroo right there in his mama's pouch. Look at those strong legs, and that tail is huge. What do you think that tail does? I think that it gives them balance when they hop. The kangaroo is a marsupial animal. That means it has a pouch. There are possums I know are marsupials, and I'm really not sure of other animals, but I know the kangaroo is one. They can run on 2 legs or walk slowly on all 4. I did not know they got on all 4. They carry their young in a pouch until they can walk on their own. If you look up about baby kangaroos, they are born very, very small. And they grow, and finally they can come out of their mother's pouch, and they spend a little while where they will get out sometimes and go back in sometimes. So just pretty much like a baby wants to be held, and then they finally get to where like, I'm done with this. Look at this. They are fighting. Can you believe that? They need a mama to teach them some manners. Baby kangaroos are called joeys. They can jump very high, and their legs are powerful. Did you know they can't walk backwards? Very neat, but right there they are fighting, and I have heard that kangaroos will fight, and they use those strong legs to kick, and I'm sure if you got kicked by one of those, you would remember it for just a little while. Oh, look at that baby koala, or maybe it's not a baby, but it looks like a teddy bear. He's got fluffy ears. The koala is a member of the kangaroo family. I did not know that. Baby koalas live in their mother's pouch for 5 months. So they are also a what? Marsupial. Marsupial. They have extra sharp teeth and claws. They can live for 20 or more years, and they sleep 19 hours a day. So now I know what I'm going to call all the sleepyheads in my house. I'm going to call them koalas. Then we have these. They look kind of like ostriches, but they're Australian, and they're called emus. The emu is the 2nd largest bird in the world. The first is its relative, the ostrich. So we have ostriches in zoos here. We don't have actual ostriches running around, and we definitely don't have emus. But they are the 2nd largest bird in the world. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, look at the little face. The emu can be up to 6.5 feet tall. That's 6.5 feet. So that is taller than most of your dads. They have small wings, but only to help stabilize them while they are running, not to fly. So this bird is not a flyer, but it does have wings. They can run up to 30 miles an hour. That is fast. And they are excellent swimmers. That is so amazing to me. I cannot imagine this big bird in the water. Emus live for 5 to 10 years out in the wild. I'm going to go back to this other picture. I'm going to see if I can see their feet. Are their feet webbed like a duck? Is that how they swim? That is so amazing. Emus can swim. Ooh, that is a saltwater crocodile. Now you've got alligators and crocodiles. Alligators live in the United States. Crocodiles do not, and crocodiles are the dangerous ones. These are the ones who will eat people if they have to. Alligators are not as, they're not meat eaters like these are, not of people. Look at that big belly. Looks like it could swallow you whole. All right, look at those teeth. Australian saltwater crocodiles are the largest reptiles in the world. So they're the largest reptiles, not the largest mammal, but the largest reptiles. They make me think of dinosaurs. Their teeth alone can exert over 2,000 pounds of pressure. If you get caught in those jaws, baby, you are not coming out. They mostly eat small reptiles, fish, and turtles, but they can eat animals as large as a buffalo. So, I mean, I would hate to see a buffalo caught by a crocodile. That'd be a sight right there. But those jaws can squeeze 20,000 pounds. If you want to see what you can squeeze, get a scale and like one that you weigh on, a bass scale, and squeeze it with both hands on the side and see how much pressure you can do. One time I did 80 pounds and my kids were like so amazed because I was stronger than all of them. All right, it says, are you hungry yet? Great, let's explore some of the tasty foods in Australia. Do you know what this is? Gage, I know you know what this is. This is an Aussie meat pie. They are very famous for their meat pies. I sent a recipe home with y'all. It looks like a really delicious one. Some of them have ground meat, like ground beef in them, and some have like strips of steak. So that looks yummy. This is meat pie. The people in Australia are the Aussies. They're called Aussies just like we're called Americans. They're called Aussies. The Aussies love their meat pies. They are usually a flaky crusted pie filled with gravy and minced meat. They have a competition every year to see who can make the best pie. I think they're so cute. They look like a little chicken pot pie to me. All right, these are called Chico. A Chico roll is very popular as well. It's a fried roll stuffed with beef, cabbage, carrots, and onions. So it's kind of like a long meat pie. Will you eat one? I would definitely try it if I could find one. Oh, look at this. This looks like a popsicle. It's called Splice. Splice is a favorite treat for Aussies to take to the beach. It has ice cream on the inside and is covered by fruit-flavored ice. Yum! This one looks like a lime pineapple. I bet they have orange ones too. All right, this is hilarious. Do you know how we have peanut butter? When I was a little girl, I wanted to eat peanut butter for every meal. And there are many kids who love peanut butter and jelly. This is called Vegemite. Have you ever had a Vegemite sandwich? It is very dark brown Australian spread made from leftover brewer's yeast extract with various vegetables and spices. So it is a little more healthy probably than peanut butter, but I don't know if it's sweet or not. Australians love it so much they put it almost anything from toast to pizza. So there's a piece of toast with it, and eggs, and maybe some tomatoes and cheese. It's called Vegemite. That is so funny to me. Oh, this looks yummy. Tim Tams are a favorite treat sold in grocery stores all over Australia. They are a chocolate cookie that when dipped in hot chocolate melt into a brownie-like treat in your mouth. Doing so is called the Tim Tam Slam. So you dip them in hot chocolate. I wonder if it's like a hot chocolate drink or like a hot chocolate syrup. I would like to try some Tim Tams. We might have to see if we can order some of those. Do you know what language the Aussies speak? If you thought English, you are right. However, they do use terms that are specific to their country that may sound a little different to you. G'day, mate. If you ever heard a movie with Australians in it, it's funny to hear them. They have a different accent and they do have some different words. Here's some words that we use over on the English side. We would say we're going to have a backyard barbecue. Well, they would say Barbie. Have you got some shrimp on the barbie? A billabong is actually what we would call a watering hole. A cookie is what they would call a biscuit. Instead of saying hello, they'd say g'day. G'day, mate. A mate is what they would call a friend. Hooroo means goodbye. Mozzie is a mosquito. A walkabout. I'm going for a walkabout. A long walk. Get your togs on. That would be your swimsuit. And tucker would be food. Come get some tucker, I guess is what they would say. That is really neat. Really neat. So, hooroo. When we get done with this video, I'll say hooroo. All right. It's got a lot about Australia in here. This is really interesting. In Australia, clothing can be separated into two different types, beachwear and bushwear. Can you guess why? Because what is Australia mostly? Most of the people live around the water area, so that would be your beachwear. Of course, you don't go to work in your beachwear, but you probably go out there to play a lot. And what do you think this bushwear is for? That's for the outback. I like to call it the inback. That's for the outback because it's rough and rugged, and they need heavyweight clothes. It doesn't have to be warm clothing, but it will need to be warm at night. But it needs to be tough, so you can endure the ruggedness. Bushwear was designed as the result of the harsh conditions in the bush or the outback. As early as 1930s, Australian women in the bush were wearing pants, and both men and women tended to wear tough cotton pants or moleskin jeans. So I guess they were made from moleskins. Here's some beachwear. Looks pretty much like what Americans would wear. People who live near the beach or coastal areas often wear bathing suits or surfboard shorts with printed shirts or any type of lightweight clothing to keep them cool. So pretty much what we do as Americans. Oh, look at this. This is a school. Have you wondered what school in Australia would be like? Probably pretty close to the same as school you attend. Many schools in Australia require students to wear uniforms. They learn math, science, literature, social studies, and more. So this looks pretty much like an American classroom. That has a lot of students in it, so they're kind of packed desk to desk. Whereas our little school just has tables, and we sit at tables. So it doesn't look like they have a lot of room to move around in there either, but maybe they have a big play yard. And it says, last look at Australia. Our time in Australia is almost done. Let's take one last look at the beautiful country before boarding the plane. All right, that is the what bridge? Do you remember? It's the Harbor Bridge. Look how they have those lights shining out of there. What is this over here to the side? Sydney Opera House. Do you remember what this is? The Great Barrier Reef. This is just a different picture of it. You can see down into the water because the water is very clear. And this, I don't know if this is Sydney, but I'm guessing this is Sydney because it's their largest city. So I'm guessing that's what they're showing us. And what is that? That's the rugged outback, dirt streets. All right, look what it says. It says, hooroo, goodbye, hooroo. All right, so now let's see if we can get our packets out. Our Australian book, and go to your Australian facts page. Get your Australian facts. So pause your video and look around for your book if you don't have it. Number 7, a blank cannot walk backwards. Do you remember? I remember. I'm going to see if we can go back up here. No, not that one. They can't walk backwards. Did you know they can't walk backwards? So we're going to put kangaroo. 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 I think I spelled boomerang incorrectly yesterday. I couldn't read the words. It was boomer, E-R, not A-R, but that's okay. So put kangaroo. Just look right here on this chart right here where my mouse is moving. Kangaroo. A blank sleeps for up to how many hours every night? What did we read? That was the sleepy animal? It says 19 hours a day. This one says 19 hours a night. But whatever, it's more than a night because it's 19 hours. So put 19 and put koala. Koala is up here at the top. Koala. Right there where my mouse is moving. That's on number 8. All right, they don't have anything about the emu or the crocodile or the meat pie or the popsicles, but they have something about this. It says, Australians put blank on their toast and pizza. What's it called? Look at the picture right here. Vegemite. It sounds like a power food. Vegemite. All right, so it's Vegemite. And the last one is, what does hooroo mean? I want to say hoorah. Hooroo means goodbye. So it is on number 6, means goodbye. So write down goodbye. Alrighty. So I'm going to shrink the video down, the PowerPoint. I'm going to shrink it down. So if you've got all of that written, you can go back and look at the video again if you need to. Hello, there I am. And I have to turn this off of I. There we go. And I have to pull this back up bigger. Ta-da! When I have that PowerPoint on, I can only see the PowerPoint. I think y'all can see me and the PowerPoint, but I can only see the PowerPoint. Let's look at the words and see if we can read them. Now, you're going to need some help for these unless you're Leon. I know Leon can read them. Crocodile, kangaroo, koala, emu. I can turn the page. Eyes up here. In the outback. I can't say it. Aborigine. I don't know why I can't say it. Aborigines. There we go. Aborigines. Sydney Opera House and the Harbor Bridge. The Aborigines were the first people there. Ah, look what we have. Vegemite. Give me some Vegemite. Boomerang, remember if you throw those, they'll come back to you. Then Australia, Great Barrier Reef. That's a very important place where all the coral live. And that is all. And so we have completed our study of Australia, the land down under. It is often called the land down under. And you hear that term, just remember it's Australia, and you have learned about it. And you have tasted some of their food if you've cooked a meat pie. And you have looked at their animals. And you have discovered their temperatures. And it's usually very hot there in the daytime. All right, so that is all we have for Australia. And I am going to say goodbye, and we still have science to do, and then that will almost wrap up this day. We've got a little bit of flashcards to do, and I'll do that. So I'm going to say goodbye.